We're very fortunate today to have two fascinating entertainment projects that are both going to be located in Sydney, that are both very well supported and got some brilliant people running it. The first of those is going to be presenting is Indoor Skydive Australia Group, which will be an indoor skydiving venture. It's led by two former SAS guys, both of them are standing over there. I don't need to say to you what will happen if you don't invest into their program, just kidding. No, they're great guys. It's obviously they're very high energy in the way they talk about the company, and they've also got some good definitions if you haven't been skydiving before. So please welcome to the stage, Danny and Wayne.
Thanks, Steve. Great to be here, and it's great to see so many potential investors in front of us today. My name's Danny Hogan. I'm one of the directors of Indoor Skydive Australia Group. I'm joined by Wayne, my business partner, one of the other company directors, who'll join us during the presentation to talk about the target market, some of the financials, and more importantly, the offer, something near and dear to everyone in the room. Indoor Skydive Australia Group was a company formed in November last year as the parent company to facilitate a number of skydiving facilities to cross our region in the next 3 to 5 years. So the key there is the number of skydive facilities. When we talk about indoor skydiving, generally we get a lot of questions, and the way we've found to squash some of those questions is by presenting a short video, which we'll do now. As I close this, can I just have a quick show of hands, all those who have ever wanted to skydive but haven't found the courage to throw themselves out of a perfectly good aircraft? There must be more than that in the room. And after seeing that video, does anyone else want to join the minority there that just put their hands up? There must be. Okay, so what we get generally is that everyone that put their hands up, which shows and squashes one of the questions we always get, and that is who can use this facility. Effectively, we can say everyone. Everyone from 5 years old through to about 95 years old can use this facility. So the team, Wayne Jones, 21 years regular service with the military, the last 15 years in the Australian SAS. He is has been at the forefront of military freefall for the last 10 years. Myself, done a 2-year exchange with the United States Special Operations Command, where I conducted a parachute course with the Navy SEALs, and I was able to see one of these facilities firsthand. John Didham's 35 years in the game, has raised a lot of money for a number of companies. He's managing our process through to IPO, which is destined for the end of October. Steve Baxter, Director and Strategic Investor. Steve has joined the team as of 13th of August this year. Australian entrepreneur. He was the founder of SENet, the early internet provider SENet, co-founder of Pipe Networks, the founder of River City Labs, and is an Australian success story. Brett Sheridan, who is co-founder of Adrenaline.com, is looking after some of our marketing segments, one of the first online experiences company, and you can see the turnover figures there from 2002 to 2007. You also want us to mention that he's a 2-time Skydive record holder. Okay, execution. How are we going to do this? We're going to start by constructing and operating the first facility located at Penrith Panthers Leisure Precinct, an $850 million project scheduled over the next several years. We're going to follow that by multiple facilities across Australia and the region. We have the expert team. We've been on this project now for some time. We've got the expert team at a corporate level through our design phase. We have the expert construction team on standby, and we have drawn from experiences overseas. Our provider, the world's leading manufacturer, SkyVenture, 13 years in the game of building and manufacturing indoor skydiving facilities, with the first opened in 1998 and still operational today. They've sold more tunnels than any other provider across the world. 23 in operation, with 7 sold for installation and under construction. They have proven systems for management. This is new to Australia. It's proven tested. We're not reinventing the wheel here. It's just the first time it's been done in Australia. Here's obviously an indication of where they are around the world. And ISA Group soon will be stamping a star on the big Australian map down the bottom. iFly, we're purchasing a franchise from SkyVenture, and it comes in the form of iFly. Again, this includes a whole range of items, along with financial reporting systems, full engineer maintenance manuals, and we get an assigned SkyVenture project manager. He has been assigned, we put down the 5% deposit. With that comes a project manager. He's been working hand in hand with our construction team project manager for the last 12 months. First facility, here's an architectural montage that was used for the council development application. The DA was approved on the 26th of April this year. We can build this facility. Some of the plans. Streetscape elevation. Here's you can see the proximity to the entrance of Penrith Panthers Leagues Club. Some side elevations and the working level. This is where the money's made. Between myself and Wayne, we've visited over 11 facilities across the world, and a lot of time and effort's been placed into the flow of passengers, or not passengers, of client through this facility. Again, another architectural montage. You can see the proximity to the entrance of Penrith Panthers, one of the largest memberships statewide, 140,000 members statewide. This sits across the road from the football stadium, a 22,500 capacity stadium. Other locations around the world, attractions around the Penrith region, you can see them there with the recently announced $150 million Wet and Wild Water Park, about 15 minutes down the road. 3 million visitors from the Greater New South Wales alone. Price comparisons, some of the prices against those activities. Our price, from $90. With that, it's sold as a 1-hour flight experience to get expert coach and safety briefs, followed by custom equipment and fit out, flight training and rehearsals, followed by 2 50-second flights in winds greater than 180 kilometres. It's equivalent to 2 descents from approximately 12,500 feet, which equates to a $700 experience from an aircraft. Some of the key achievements to date, with the first 3 completed, with the facility opening and first paying customer in the first quarter of 2014. I'll now hand over to Wayne.
Thanks, Danny. Who's going to use this facility? Okay, for starters, we have the military there. Myself and Danny have a lot of experience in that environment, and we understand how important this is to those guys. The Australian military already travel overseas to use these things. We fly to the States and Japan to train in these facilities at the moment. The US military have incorporated this into their freefall program, so it's part of a safety requirement for those guys to do a couple of hours in the wind tunnel before they throw their first guy out of the plane. In Australia, we have up to 1,000 freefall qualified people already, so it's going to be incorporated into their training program. Tourism, 100,000 skydives, 100,000 tandem skydives sold last year at around $300 to $500 a pop. There's a fair bit of revenue there, and as we've established, there are a lot of people around that maybe want to do a step before they actually do that tandem skydive, and this is the perfect environment for those guys to do that. Enthusiasts, we have 5,000 registered skydivers in Australia. A very small percentage of those skydivers are in Perth, Western Australia. About 10 to 15% of those skydivers, they purchased 150 hours in the last 6 months in the Singapore wind tunnel. Now, they're buying these hours at around $12 to $2,000 Singapore per hour. So that's how much the skydiving community need one of these things in Australia. Corporates, I don't need to explain to you people in the room how exciting this would be to be able to grab your company, take them out there for the day, and throw them in the wind tunnel for a bit of bonding session. Kids and schools, the median age group of skydivers, tunnel users in San Francisco Bay is 11 years old. So we're going to be marketing to that target audience quite aggressively. Kids clubs, get them involved, and the more the kids come together and join these clubs, the cheaper it is for them to purchase bulk hours of this wind tunnel facility. Financial assumptions. So the existing facilities around the world, in the States alone, we've got the privilege of looking at the figures they're doing over there, and there's 23 of these things over there. We have a wider market in Australia. Some of the States ones, 80% of those are military, 20% of those are tourists. We've got the whole market. We've got the military, the tourism, the corporates, etc., etc. Now these tunnels in the States are turning between $4 to $6 million revenue per year at EBITDA margins of 40 to 50%. So they're doing very well. Singapore alone, on their website, iFly Singapore, They turned over $5 million in their first 6 months of operation. So these things do spit out a lot of coin. Now, we're talking about one facility here. ISO Group is building multiple facilities. So the first one, second one, third one, do the maths, they're going to do pretty well. Total capacity of one of these wind tunnels there, we're talking about an hour experience, but in reality it's 2 50-second flights. So we can put a busload of people through this thing in an hour, 36 people per hour. If a horde of fans come over from the rugby league stadium and want to use this tunnel together, we've got a burst capacity to put 72 people through this thing in an hour. So we can really turn the corner over on these things. We've got a very conservative modelling, however, and we can go through that later on one-on-one. Okay, our offer itself, now that's gone a little bit funky there. So basically, we are going to IPO in November, and the good news is that we have round 3, which is still open now. And the round 3 was set for $550,000 at 12-cent shares, and the IPO is going to be 20 cents. Due to that, there's so much interest in round 3 that we're going to actually extend round 3, extend it in value. We'll offer up to about $1 million at that 12-cent share market, and we're going to do that by tying investors into the IPO itself. That's how we're looking there, but please come over and we'll explain it in more detail. Okay, our blue sky vision, this is the last slide, all right. We've got Sydney and Melbourne CBDs. Once we've built the show home out at Penrith, we can go into the Darling Harbours, we can go into St Kilda and say, hey, we built this one, we can build it in your backyard as well. We're going to go around Australia and do that, and do it within our region in New Zealand as well. We have the expert team, we have the experience, we've got a 2-year jump on any competition, we have the know-how, and we're the first movers in this game. I'll leave it on the corporate team slide, and please come on over. We're just at the table here, and come and meet us and say good day after this. Thank you very much for your time.